Hey friends, it's your girl Amber, your favorite realtor. I have a confession to make. Even though I have had a great year in real estate, in fact, it's my best year that I've ever had, I actually have been feeling like I've been in a slump this year. I just haven't felt that spark of inspiration and motivation that I am used to feeling, that I've always felt. I've always been able to just feel inspired and motivated. And this year, I just haven't been able to spark that. I've just been kind of tired physically and mentally, emotionally. And sometimes I feel a little overwhelmed because I have so many ideas of so many things that I could do, and I know what to do. I know too many things to do, but I just don't feel motivated to do it, and also just don't have the systems in place. So I'm always kind of overwhelmed with too many options and having to figure it out every time. So I am gonna do a 90-day reset, and I am so excited. And mostly I'm excited that I feel excited that I finally have this feeling of motivation and inspiration back. And we are almost at September 1st, and it is a great time to do a 90-day reset. It's going to bring me from September 1st basically through Thanksgiving. And actually what I'm going to be doing is the 12-week year. Oh, wait, I have a little book right here. I read this a long time ago, and I actually went through the steps, creating the goals and the tasks and setting up the plan. But because I was just doing it by myself, and I do have a lot of trouble sticking to a plan when it's just me that's holding myself accountable. So that's why I'm here inviting you on my journey and to have YouTube posts. And I also have invited several friends to do the challenge with me. I think that's going to really help me to hold myself accountable and to follow through. So I'm excited about that too. And I hope that you will follow along and see the progress that I make. And hopefully, if you give me some feedback, that's just going to really motivate me to keep at it and to stick to the plan. The most success I have ever had with doing some kind of daily habit and sticking to the plan and staying inspired and staying motivated has been with 30-day challenges. And what has helped me even more to follow through and to be excited about it and stay motivated was to share those 30-day challenges and get other people to join in with me. The 90 days or the 12 weeks is definitely a little bit of an experiment. It is a little bit long for me, but the 30-day challenges that I did were not meant to be long term. They were temporary. And once the 30 days was up, I stopped doing those habits. This is definitely a time where I want to not just create a temporary habit, although doing like a spurt before the end of the year will be cool. But a lot of the things I want to implement are things that I'm going to probably want to do all year long. So I'm going to try the longer 12 weeks and hope that I will be able to stick with it. By having a really specific plan and having my vision, big goals, and mostly by having the support and the accountability of doing the YouTube videos and then having my friends that said they were going to do the challenge with me, hopefully that will be enough to help me to stick to this plan. Okay, I'm back and I have my brand new journal, which I'm very excited about. The first thing I did was write out a list of core values and then narrow it down to see which ones I want to focus on for this season of my life. I started off with a list of probably more than 20 things like creativity, freedom, joy, inspiration, love, positivity, health, energy, family, abundance, gratitude, compassion, empathy, generosity, whole long list. And then I narrowed it down to the top 8, put an asterisk next to ones that really spoke to me the most, and then I narrowed it down even more to the top 3. For the top 3, I picked joy, energy, and inspiration as core values for myself right now. And just a side note, I have 2 kids, so family, for example, is always going to be my top priority, always. However, they both just graduated from college. They are independent, they're living their lives, they're doing amazing. So they just don't require a lot from me right now in terms of my time and my energy, other than just staying connected with them. I'm able to focus my energy onto some other priorities right now. So that's why these core values do change. It doesn't have to be your core values for the rest of your life. It's for whatever works for you right now during this season. Notice what is not on my list: success, wealth, discipline, and consistency. And this is where I'm struggling. It's where I always struggle in my career, because there's part of me, of course, that does want these things, but there's part of me that doesn't care about these things. It just doesn't feel like my core values. However, I probably do need to focus on these in order to achieve my goals right now. So we'll see whether I make any changes and add these to my list at some point. The next thing I did was a wheel of life. I don't know if you've ever seen these. You can look it up online. They make really beautiful and colorful ones. The one that I did has business, career, finances, health, family, friends, romance, personal growth, spirituality, fun and recreation, and physical environment. And what you do is you give each category a number from 1 to 10 about how much you care about it, how much you feel like it needs attention, how satisfied are you in that area. And that can really help you decide on what areas you want to focus on, because you can't focus on all of them all at the same time. Balance in life is a myth. You balance by focusing on one thing at a time or a few things at a time. You can't focus on everything at a time. I already said, like, right now I don't really need to focus on family that much because they're taking care of themselves. I did my work. I'm retired. So I chose business. I separated business and career. I feel like with career, I love real estate. I love everything about it. I love the people. I love the houses. I love working with other agents. I love running around town all day. I love doing open houses. I feel very, very, very satisfied with career. But for business, I do feel like I need to do a lot of work. I just don't have good systems in place. I don't have good follow-up. I don't have a very reliable, predictable way to get leads. It's been just very organic, which has worked and it's been great, but it's also kind of scary because it always feels like maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. So I would love to get that more systematized. Finances, I gave myself a 5 out of 10. I do have some debt. I have student loan. I have business loan. I do not have any credit card debt, so that's good. And I do have good, decent savings, but also in real estate, you can go 6 months without a sale. So I would hate to blow through those savings. So that's why I gave myself a 5. And then health is always a priority for me, and personal growth. So those are the areas that I want to focus on. The next thing I did is I wrote out a 5-year vision. And this is really, really good. And actually, they do recommend doing this in the book, in the 12-week year. You can do a 5-year vision, then you can break it down to a 3-year vision, and then you basically reverse engineer it to see what do you need to do, what goals do you need to set in order to achieve that vision. So it is really great to think further out, which a lot of people don't spend the time to do if you're just in survival mode day to day. But I always have been a planner and I always create these visions. So this was like easy for me to do. And there's just stuff in here about health, staying healthy and strong, paying off debt, having abundant savings. I'd love to have more passive income. I wrote down revenue share, growing my organization within the organization at my brokerage. I wrote down starting a team, which I haven't done. I have more of an informal partnership, but I do not have a formal team. And that's something I'm really interested in doing. Yeah, and then once I get all that money, I will be able to have more time and energy to be able to contribute to causes that are meaningful and support friends and family in ways that feel important, and be able to work wherever I want to in the world. Although I just want to be here with my cats. So that's it. That is my 5-year vision. And now I need to come up with my list of specific goals and then break those down into specific tasks to achieve those goals. Okay, so what are the next steps? First of all, I'm going to finish reading this book again. And if you don't have the book and you want to go along with this plan with me, you can find all of this information online. There are a lot of great videos and information, and you can get the whole plan online. I am going to be posting new videos every week. That is my plan, to hold myself accountable and to get everybody's support. And I hope that you will join me. If you would love to do the 12-week year or a 90-day reset, especially if you're a real estate agent, but even if you want to work on any goal or any aspect of your life, I would love if you comment below. I would love if you join me. Whether you are watching this at the end of August 2025 or anytime in the future, let's connect. And if you are interested to see what my next steps are and how I progress on this journey with this plan and these goals and achieving these goals, definitely hit the subscribe button. Definitely come back every week. I'll be posting videos. My next steps are going to be to come up with specific goals to achieve the specific vision that I've already laid out. And the trick is going to be to not choose a million goals. And it would be really easy for me to come up with a list of a million different things I want to work on, a million different daily habits and daily tasks to achieve my perfect life, which is what I usually do. So what's recommended in the book and what I'm really going to try to stick to is to narrow it down and pick 1 to 3 goals. I'm going to first brainstorm everything, but then I'm going to go through and probably do 2 professional and 1 personal. That is achievable, and I'm really going to try to make my focus super narrow so that I can stay on task and see the results and not get overwhelmed and not let it slide. Hopefully you guys will be here to support me in that journey and join me. Come back next week. Until then, love you guys. Take care.